Today we're going to be talking about those phrases we heard growing up, those phrases like actions speak louder than words, you can catch more flies with honey, and we're going to see what that has to do with communication, starting right now. Hello, fellow communicators. I am Tish Trunk Parmalee, owner of YANA Communication, professional narrator, communication consultant, and your beloved host. I'd like to welcome you to the first episode of Top 10 Tuesday. What we're going to be doing here with the Top 10 Tuesday is going over the list of foibles and follies and fun stuff about communication. Like I said in the beginning, we're going to be talking about phrases. Now, I heard a lot of these phrases growing up, and quite a few of them stuck with me, and they helped build my confidence. I know, what does confidence have to do with communication? A lot. You can't be successful at communicating unless you're confident. So we're going to have some fun today and go over these top 10 phrases I heard growing up, or I've adopted growing up, that gave me a bit of confidence. Before we get started, I would like to ask you to subscribe to this channel because there's going to be a lot more top 10 coming up. Quick disclaimer, the suggestions offered here and in future Top 10 Tuesdays are just that, suggestions. Relationships are complex and certain situations call for certain strategies. What I offer here is food for thought and stepping stones into positive interactions.
Number 10. It is what it is. Saying it is what it is reminds me to see situations and people the way they are and not as I think they should be. One situation that is as it is, when you leave work late and you're rushing to get home, flying down the freeway, and you get pulled over by a cop. The cop is just doing their job enforcing traffic laws, and you broke one. It is what it is. The same goes for people. They are who they are. You may find that a trusted friend is the one who started the rumor at school, or your coworker is the one who sabotaged your promotion, or a close friend tries to ruin your marriage. Now, I've experienced all these things, and they all hurt me, but I had to accept that they are who they are. Once I saw how things were, instead of wondering why things were, I was able to make clear decisions about how to proceed, and that boosted my confidence. Number 9. Get your mind right. Get your mind right means to get your mind centered. This phrase comes up when my emotions get away from me. There were times when I was really anxious about a situation and negativity and doubt bubbled up. There were also times when I was too positive and, long story short, impulse buy. Centering yourself involves a level of awareness that your emotions are about to decide for you. Actions, decisions, and words said during heightened emotions have a tendency to go sideways. I'm not saying to ignore your emotions, but be aware when they swing too far one way or the other. Emotional stability creates a space for you to effectively handle difficult situations and prevent rash decisions. If you are ever in an emotionally charged situation, become your own advocate and speak up. Step away when necessary. There's nothing wrong with taking time to get your mind right. Whether it means to talk to a friend or therapist, practice meditation or yoga, do it. These activities won't take the emotions away, but they will allow you to feel and process them in a calmer state. Actively getting your mind right allows you to maintain emotional stability, and that builds your confidence. Number 8. Fix your face. When my emotions were on full display, I was told, "Fix your face." Fix your face has nothing to do with makeup, but everything to do with your facial expression. It means to correct your facial expression to one of indifference. Similar expressions are keep a stiff upper lip and pull yourself together. Now, if you've made it past the age of 8, you've undoubtedly learned that there are things in life that are out of your control. The only thing we can control is our reaction to them. Fixing my face is the first step in reacting to situations out of my control. For instance, when you see a person wearing something you wouldn't be caught dead in, ask yourself, does this outfit put your life in danger? No. Other than your eyesight, is it physically harming you? No. Okay, so then tell yourself it is what it is and fix your face. Another time to fix your face would be when someone says something hurtful during a disagreement. Take a moment to get your mind right and offer a calm reply. Pausing to fix your face is an additional act of confidence that allows you to keep your wits about you in unpleasant circumstances. Number 7, there's always one. I grew up hearing this phrase, there's always one who has something negative to say. That one could be anybody, a coworker, friend, or family member, and it'll bother you. Here's a story about Jane and her coworker Jack. At lunch, they talk about the upcoming weekend, and Jane shares that she's going to a spa for some self-care after a stressful week. Jack says, must be nice to have a loaded husband to pay for that. And there's her one. Ouch. Luckily, her phone rings and she chooses to take the call. As she returns to the table, she remembers that Jack just went through a rough breakup and is still a little bit on edge. The moral of this story is that knowing there's always one can help you remember that people have their own motivations and agendas that have nothing to do with you. Knowing there's always one keeps you from being shocked by snide remarks. It also reminds you that you may have been that one in the past to others. None of us are perfect. Any one of us could be or have been that hurtful or snarky one. Be confident in knowing that hurtful remarks do not define who you are. So allow space for compassion and composure if and when it happens. Number 6. If you don't do it, you won't have done it. Let me know in the comments below if you remember this show.
Using a show? Yeah. Well, it's a thing to do. If you don't do it, you won't have done it.
This phrase has stuck with me since the moment I heard it. If you don't do it, you won't have done it. What would you like to do that you haven't done? Take a cooking class? Travel? Finish your degree? Many times we don't do these things because there isn't a valid reason. We just want to. But guess what? That's a valid reason. If you don't do it, you won't have done it. This is a confidence booster because it lights a fire within you to set personal goals for yourself.
So I see you're still with me. Since you've made it this far, I'd like to know, what would you like to do that you haven't done yet? Let me know in the comments below.
Number 5, you teach people how to treat you. My parents taught me this from a young age. Of course, this was easier said than done, but I did it and I still do. In life, we've come across people who push our buttons and treat us poorly. It becomes obvious not everyone was raised the same way, so we have to sometimes tell them tactfully how we expect to be treated. For instance, I had a friend who was always running late and for the 3rd time left me waiting. I eventually texted her saying, I understand you get busy, but this is the 3rd time I've blocked out an afternoon to spend with you. Carry on with your day and we'll get together when your life is less hectic. I let her know that my time is valuable without being passive-aggressive or harsh. She later apologized and was punctual the next time we met. Now, I won't even sit here and act like it has always gone this smoothly. Setting boundaries can set some people off. People have gotten angry with me, made snide remarks, called me princess, and much worse from that moment on. I know, rude. People like that like to manipulate others, and I called them on it. But it was all good. You learn a lot about a person when you set boundaries. The confidence that comes from setting boundaries pays off in character building and integrity. Number 4. If you don't know, here's the whole sentence.
Hey, if you don't know, you better ask somebody.
Now, while the delivery is hilarious, there's truth in it. We don't know everything. If there's something you don't know, ask someone who does. That someone may be a friend, family member, coworker, teacher, or even... Unfortunately, we've been socialized to believe that the older we get, the less help we need. That could not be further from the truth. Pretending you know something can put you in a bind. You can say the wrong thing or eat the wrong thing. Why do that to yourself? Ask somebody. Asking someone for help shows that you're human. It will boost others' confidence and trust in you. How? It shows that you care more about learning than looking like an expert in all things. Number 3, you gon' keep on. You gon' keep on is a warning lovingly passed down from my grandma to my mom and now to me. It means if you keep on the current course of action, something unpleasant may occur. And it usually does. Another way of saying this is check yourself before you wreck yourself. You gon' keep on is a reminder to stop and think about what you're doing. As a child, I found myself in situations that were risky. As a teenager who made questionable choices, I was told, you gon' keep on, instead of being lectured. That phrase told me if I kept on doing what I was doing, I'd end up grounded. It worked, most of the time. Now, as grown-ups, we know deep down when we're getting near the point of no return when venturing into unknown territory. So I hear that phrase in my own head now. I consider 3 main risks: physical, financial, and legal. What if I want to keep on speeding just because I'm running a few minutes behind? I'll be taking a physical, financial, and legal risk. Is it worth it? No way. You Gon' Keep On built my confidence because it taught me personal risk management. Acknowledging that point of no return is crucial because then you can decide if you want to stay the course, stop what you're doing, or push yourself even further. Number 2, the best lessons a bought lesson. The best lessons a bought lesson is from my mom, and it is the phrase that comes to mind when I didn't take sound advice or I made the choice to keep on. This phrase comes from the mindset that a person doesn't truly appreciate something unless they buy it themselves. The same holds true for life lessons. Sometimes we just have to learn it, hence buy it ourselves. Years ago, I had a coworker who dated a person who had a sob story at the first of every month. My other coworkers and I told him repeatedly that she was just using him and that she'll be gone when the money stops rolling in. He insisted that she loved him, even though she never, quote-unquote, said it out loud. A day came when his uncle passed away, and he chipped in to help his family with funeral costs. Those costs left him unable to help his girlfriend with her rent. The following week, he came to work sad and depressed. We knew what happened. A bought lesson. At one time or another, we've all been the advice ignorer. We just wouldn't listen and ended up learning a lesson the hard way. It's part of being human. Those bought lessons build confidence because we remember those times we didn't listen and learn how to spend our emotional currency wisely the older we get. Number 1, you are not alone. This phrase is so important to me that it's the acronym for my business, YANA. You are not alone. If you are a human, you've probably experienced moments of doubt, anxiety, and fear when trying something new, starting a new job in a new state, opening a business, writing a book, or even creating a new YouTube channel. We have our own paths to travel. Nevertheless, we still end up feeling quite alone throughout this process. If there's one phrase you remember from this Top 10 Tuesday, please let it be this one. You are not alone. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, we've reached the end of the first Top 10 Tuesday. I hope these phrases gave you some insight into confidence building and at least a little lighthearted humor.
Before we go, let me know in the comments section below what other topics you'd like me to cover on Top 10 Tuesdays.